Next up, we'll take a look at the grid and pick reference coordinate systems. They're related in my mind because they both allow you to create your own custom reference coordinate systems. Grid works with a user grid object, and pick allows you to pick any object to be the basis of your coordinate system. First, we'll take a look at grid, and for that demonstration I've created a user grid object on top of the table here. I'll right-click with it selected and choose Activate Grid from the Tools 1 quad. Now the user grid is rotated some amount with respect to world space, and you can see that here with its orientation. Now I'll select the teapot and choose the grid reference coordinate system. That matches up with the user grid's orientation. So now I can transform the teapot according to the orientation of the user grid object. Doesn't that make sense? That's going to hold true no matter where that user grid is and how it's oriented. I'll go back and select that user grid and then rotate it some arbitrary amount. Now I'll go back and move the teapot, and once again its transform gizmo matches up with the user grid's orientation. And that's going to hold true in all the viewports. It doesn't matter whether they're orthogonal or not. The user grid is what's controlling the orientation of the transform gizmo. Okay, let's investigate the pick coordinate system next. To do that, let's return to our home grid, and the easiest way to do that is to select the user grid object, right-click, and then choose Activate Home Grid from the Tools 1 quad. So we're back to normal, if you will. Now I'll select the pick system from this drop-down, and then I have to click on an object. It says that down here on the status bar. Click or click and drag to select objects. I'll just click on this red box here, and that becomes the basis of my coordinate system. Notice the drop-down now has the name of the object, box 01. So I can select the teapot and transform it according to the local coordinate system of box 01. I can slide the teapot over in that direction now, very easily. Watch what happens if I select box 1 and rotate it. I'll rotate it some amount. And then I'll go back and move the teapot, and once again its transform gizmo is parallel to the box. So this is a great way of moving objects with respect to each other by picking a reference coordinate system off of one of the objects. There's no limit to the number of picked systems that you can have, and note that they appear down here at the bottom of the drop-down as individual coordinate systems that you can choose at any time. Remember that the pick systems are based upon the orientation of the pivot points of the picked objects.